Good evening, friends. Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome back to Dozen Cats Wellness Tarot. Uh, I'm going to attempt to do my very first VR challenge. Um, a couple of weeks ago, I did a live, and someone mentioned to me about doing VR challenges, and I was like, I've never done one, don't really even know what they are. So I did some research and found a couple that are interesting to me, and so this is a video response to Hershe the Shadow Reader, who was responding to Simon at the Hermit's Cave for his hashtag TarotTubers A to Z Next Gen. Now, this is an older VR, meaning that Hershe did hers a month ago and Simon's was like back in April, but you know what they say, better late than never, right? So here we go, friends. So I will copy and paste all of the prompts into the description box below the video. And I just want to say a huge shout out to Cheyenne Shining for suggesting looking into VR challenges. And a shout out, of course, to Simon the Hermit's Cave for coming up with the hashtag VR challenge, and Hershe the Shadow Reader, which is what led me to it in the first place. So here we go. So I'm going to get comfy because that's what I do. First prompt is A, your favorite author. My favorite author is Jane Austen. I find it fascinating that a woman who, by all accounts, never found love, was able to capture romance, the idea of love, that has stood the test of time for hundreds of years. It's remarkable to me. And as a woman of that time, I mean, props to her. What she went through to be able to write those stories is remarkable. I only hope that she knows the impact that her stories and that her words had on so many generations. B, my biggest regret. I try not to have regrets, but I think that if I was going to go down that path, the biggest regret that I have is that I have anxiety. I have diagnosed anxiety panic disorder, and that I allowed myself and I'm not placing any blame on myself, but I allowed myself to really cave and give in to the fear that is associated with having anxiety panic disorder, to the point where it really hijacked and debilitated my life for 10 plus years. C, car. What do you want to listen to the most in the car? Anyone that rides with me in a car will tell you that I am the worst person when it comes to listening to music in the car, because I've got my finger on the button and I am pressing it like every 30 or 40 or 50 seconds. I'm terrible that way. Constantly changing the station, constantly changing the song. If I make my own music, it's usually upbeat pop, kind of vibe. I also like to listen to like Motown kind of music when I'm driving, especially if it's like a long trip. D, divination tool. other than tarot. I'm dealing, meaning I'm learning, numerology and astrology, and I love to use my pendulum. E, eat. What would you want to eat as your last meal? Oh, that's a difficult one because I'm a fan of food, friends. I am a fan of food. My go-to, my comfort is any kind of pasta and tomatoes. It is something that I have eaten since I was a child, and I have so many moments over the course of my lifetime where if I was recovering from an illness, if I came home at 3 o'clock in the morning and I was hungry and wanted a snack, if I was anxious, pasta and tomatoes always seems to hit the spot and make me feel satisfied. And so it would be pasta and tomatoes. F, fears. Do you have any? What are they? Irrational, irrational. I could spend days on this one, sadly. As I said, I have anxiety panic disorder, and anxiety is based on fear. Some are rational, some are irrational. I am a work in progress at breaking those down and working through them, working with them. But just a few. White coat syndrome, fear of the doctors or medical professionals. I have a fear of being physically ill. There's a name for that, and I can't remember what it is. I have a fear of outside, mingling with society. So I isolate into my house, mostly in my little room here, my office. Sometimes I go outside. I love being outside. But everything has to be perfect. Like the temperature has to be right. The time of day has to be right. I have to be right, meaning, my mood, how I'm feeling, in order for me to do that. I am working towards getting out of the house. I've done it a few times. I've even gone into a store in the last year. So the fears are definitely dwindling, and that is amazing. I'm so grateful for that. G, game. Favorite to play. I love word games, word searches, crosswords. I love Monopoly. I think Monopoly is like my, one of my all-time favorites. I also like Yahtzee. I love card games, any kind of card games. When I was a little girl, my grandfather used to come to visit, and I would be waiting at the door for him because he would always bring me a deck of cards, and then we would play for the whole entire weekend. Any little game that he brought me or that he taught to me that particular weekend. And so cards, I love cards. One of my favorite games to play, card games, was cribbage. I loved playing cribbage. It was excellent way to learn how to add and subtract numbers when I was a little grasshopper. So H, holiday. What's your favorite time of year? My favorite time of year is Christmas. I think that everybody is just a little bit nicer, a little bit kinder, a little bit more welcoming, and I wish that we could experience that, throughout the whole entire year. I love what Christmas means: family and love, and it's just a magical season, I think. I interest, an interest someone might not know about. I love anything that helps me to figure out what makes people tick. Why do people do the things that they do? So whether that's reading a book on psychology, whether that's watching a documentary on a particular, topic, sitting on a bench, watching people walk by through a park or something like that, driving around at Christmas time and looking at all the houses, and you get to see inside the window, and you can see inside, what they're doing, what their story is, where do they come from, what makes them who they are. People are fascinating. People are fascinating to me. And over the course of the years, oh gosh, I've taken some deep dives into all kinds of things in that realm. And it may seem kind of strange, but you can find so many interesting things out that you wouldn't otherwise know. It's like, meeting a friend or having a pen pal from, another country. You get to learn about new cultures and, what's trending, and likes and dislikes and food, and it's I just find it fascinating what makes people tick. J, joy. Something that brings you joy. So many things. So many specific things. My channel brings me joy. My family brings me joy. My animals bring me joy. My husband is the joy of my life. But really what brings me the most joy currently is the feeling that I even have joy in my life. The feeling that I'm happy, that I'm hopeful, that I'm looking forward to the future, to tomorrow, that I can put a smile on my face, and that I don't live in fear anymore. K, what would you sing on a karaoke night? I would not. I was not blessed with a great tone, and so nobody wants to hear that. So I crank up the tunes in my own house or in my car when I drive. Nobody wants to hear me sing. L, what makes you laugh the most? My husband. So many times he has made me laugh to the point where, I've had to pull the car over. I remember one time specifically, we were watching a Christmas movie, and because he was laughing, I was laughing, and we were laughing so hard that we had to stop the movie, like pause it, open, I mean, and it was Christmas, so it was cold because we live in Canada, so it was cold, right? We had to open up the patio door, the sliding door, and let some oxygen in because we were to the point where we like belly aches and couldn't breathe. It's an amazing feeling when someone gets you like that they can just look at you in a way and just kind of make you giggle, you know? And he does that for me. M. Movie. One you love and could watch over and over again. Any Jane Austen movie. I know them line for line in some cases, and just play them for noise. It's like comforting to me. N. Nature. Where in nature do you feel the most connected? I love going to the lake. I am blessed to have a beautiful lake within like a 5 to 10 minute drive from my house. A lot of you have seen my pictures of that scenery. It's absolutely stunning. It's absolutely gorgeous. Doesn't matter what season it is. It never fails to disappoint. It is just a beautiful, breathtaking scene, and I love my backyard. I have big, beautiful trees and flowers and a bird bath and a small water fountain and a fire pit and, you know, green grass and a beautiful opening to the sky that just, you know, illuminates all the stars at night and the sunshine during the day, and it is my happy place out in my backyard. O. Optimistic. What are your hopes for the future? That I continue to heal, that I continue to work on myself, that I continue to lift my vibration so that I don't operate from a place of fear due to my anxiety panic disorder. Yeah. P. Pip deck. Favorite. Don't know that I have one. Q. Quality time. What do you consider being quality time spent? This is an interesting question to me. Quality time spent, like definition wise, to me is anything that puts a smile on your face, anything that makes you feel, you know, calm and peaceful and joyful and rested and relaxed. That may seem like a strange answer, but coming from a person who spent years having to do 9 things at once just to feel like they were able to function because they were fidgeting, working with the nerves and the anxiety. Coming from someone who used to have, you know, 5 to 8 panic attacks a day. Just sitting still can be quality time. It's still really hard for me to do, to sit in silence. You know, normal time where you're just sitting in front of the TV, just, you know, mindless. I'm a work in progress where that is concerned. It does get easier as time goes by. But when I have my animals with me, I have 3 cats and a dog. When my husband is there, when I'm visiting or talking to my sister or my nieces, when I'm on my channel and someone shares an extraordinary thing and I see the chat all offer love and kindness, compassion, support, which then develops into a further conversation, that's quality time. Because it matters. It means something, you know? You feel it. That's what quality time is to me, when you feel it. R, reincarnation. If you could be reborn in any time period, when would that be and why? I think that I would like to go back to Victorian times. I've always had an affiliation, a interest in that time period. I don't know why, but that's I think where I would like to go. S, sacred. What's sacred to you? My life. My life and my support system. Neither one of those things for different reasons were necessarily a priority for me. When I was first diagnosed with anxiety and struggling to just live my everyday life, I didn't see any joy in my life. And so now that I have finally arrived at a place where I can appreciate myself and love myself, appreciate all that I have, and what is yet to come, I have refound my I don't even know if that's a word, refound, but I have rediscovered that we shouldn't let any moment pass us by. Hi, Quincy. And that everyone matters. And there are things to look forward to, and I don't want to miss any of those. Don't want to miss anything. T. Tarot, your current favorite deck. I would say my current favorite deck is probably the One World Tarot. Love it. Love that deck. You. Unforgettable moment. Oh my gosh, so many unforgettable moments. I have been blessed with an amazing life and so many amazing, amazing unforgettable moments. Each time I brought, we got a new animal from the shelter was an unforgettable moment. When I met my husband, when we got married, my niece's being born, my sister's wedding. When I reached 1,000 subscribers, when I reached 1 subscriber, when I reached 100 subscribers on my channel. The day my mother died, the day my father died. A recent unforgettable moment, though, which may seem slightly out of order. I have been waiting since diagnosed for that moment, the aha moment, the moment when the light switch flips on and everything suddenly makes sense again and the fear is gone and I get my life back. Slightly unrealistic, but there you have it. I did so many things thinking that I was helping myself, putting myself in this bubble of protection to keep myself safe without fear of criticism and judgment from others, where I could just create this sort of make-believe, unrealistic world for myself that allowed me to feel like I was still a functioning part of society. And I was sitting out on the front porch, and it was maybe like 10:30 at night, and I was just looking up at the sky and the twinkling stars, and it was a lovely summer breeze. I was all by myself. I wasn't thinking anything. I wasn't doing anything in particular. I was just sitting there. And all of a sudden, the light bulb went off, and I just started to cry. I wasn't sobbing, but the tears were coming down, and I just sort of went, oh my God. I did this to myself. I don't know how. I don't know why. Meaning I don't know how I came to that thought, that conclusion. I don't know why that moment was the moment that it happened. But that moment of realizing that despite my best efforts to try to help myself, I actually threw every roadblock in front of myself. I actually stifled my forward motion. Yeah, I know it was an important moment, wasn't it, Betty? Yeah, it was. I walked in the house and I thought, okay, I have no idea what to do next. But at the same time, I felt this significant sense of relief. That was an unforgettable moment. V, vacation, favorite destination. My favorite destination is anywhere that I'm going, really. Meaning, my husband and I will, well, we haven't done this in many years because of all my issues, but prior to that, we would just open up a map and sort of go like, let's go here. And check it out and check out the city and the town or the buildings and the history and, drive through the streets and, go to the shops and the restaurants. And it was exciting, you know what I mean? In a kind of low key kind of way, checking different places out, getting to know different areas. I don't really have a favorite destination. It's just sort of the joy of the moment that I look forward to. W, well-being. What do you keep, or what do you do to keep it in check? Friends, so many things. I think the key to my well-being, I have always felt that I was in search of, over these last 12 years, that feeling of contentment, because I'm either okay or I'm not okay. Right? I'm either like panicked and kind of anxious all day and fighting that all day, or I'm completely the opposite and like ready to go to sleep. There doesn't seem to be a level of just, how you just like sort of float throughout the day and do what you got to do. I don't, if I'm pressed to say, I don't feel like I do that. And I remember I was sitting here one day and I was doing a journal entry. It's where I sort of share something that I've written in my journal in hopes that it, inspires or, offers someone some guidance or, just triggers a thought. And I had written down the word contentment. Just that feeling of just like, like I'm sitting here right now and I'm feeling quite content because I'm talking to you guys and I'm petting my cat and I feel good. Like this is a great moment. And I talked about how I wished, for that, since diagnosed with the anxiety, that all I ever wanted was the contentment that I had prior to that. I just wanted my life to go back to normal. And while I was writing that, it occurred to me that I already have it, that I've already achieved that. All right, cat off the keyboard and out of the way. Thank you, darling. Don't turn the live stream off or the recording off. I already have that. I've already achieved it. And because I was in the mode of that constant fight and that constant challenge and the constant pushing myself to continue to move forward and to do better and to get to a different place and all of that, I didn't stop to recognize and realize that I had already achieved that level of contentment. I always had it, but because I was resisting it, I didn't see it. And so I made myself a deal that I would check in with myself on a more frequent and more consistent basis. And if I check in with myself, if I allow myself to really be vulnerable and have a conversation with myself about how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, how I'm doing, where am I at, etc., I feel like that's a great way for me to know exactly where I am, what I need to do, what I need to increase, what I need to decrease, possibly, where I need to focus. So checking in with myself on the regular. X-ray. Have you had one? Sorry, this is X and X-ray. Have you had one? Ever broken a bone? Yes, I've had lots of X-rays. I've had fractures, never an actual break. Double touch wood. My jaw, which some people will laugh that know me. My elbow, my wrist, my knee, my shoulder, my back, my neck. Yeah. Why? Yourself. When can you feel totally comfortable in your own skin? It's a work in progress. I'm still trying to get there. I'm still trying to get there. But I will get there. I will get there. Z, Zodiac. What star sign are you, and do you feel a connection with it? Friends, I mean, I'm a Leo. And yeah, I feel connected to it. Except for when they say that, Leos are larger than life and sort of, can be very ego driven. I'm the Leo that's like, I love to have fun and I love to be around people, but I don't necessarily want to be the, the star of the party or the star of the show. I am perfectly comfortable sitting on the sidelines. And as long as I can be a part of it, if I can be a part of the circle, I'm very happy there. I don't think that I am ego based or ego driven. Yes, I want to be successful at whatever I do. I don't know what that means, but, I assume that I'll know it when I arrive at that moment. I don't set out with the intention of not doing something well. But it makes me feel some sort of way. I must say that when people say, oh, you're a Leo, like that, like it's a bad thing. Leos are loving and they're kind and they have big hearts and they love to make people laugh and they love to help and support. They care deeply. They're loyal. So yeah, I resonate with my star sign. by the way, it's not only my sun sign, but it's also my rising sign. I also have my Mercury is in Leo. I got a lot of Leo in me. So yeah, I resonate with it for sure. This has been great fun. Thank you so much, Simon, for thinking of this challenge. Thank you to Hershe for letting me know about the challenge. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. So thanks for tuning in and thanks for hanging out with me. This has been a lot of fun. Blessings till we see each other again. Bye for now. You gonna say goodbye, Quincy? Say bye-bye. No, Quincy. Oh, there. Say bye-bye. Oh, there he spoke. Bye-bye, everybody.